the guru of love, your loveologist, Dr. Ava Cadell.
Welcome to Sex Drive Radio, brought to you by our friends at Adam and Eve, America's most trusted source for adult products. Hi, I'm Dr. Ava Cadell, your personal certified love and sexologist, and I want to empower you to overcome any sexual guilt or shame so that you can enjoy your natural sex drive. My co-host is the lovely and talented soap opera star Jackie Zeman, and she knows a thing or two about love and romance. So give us both a call in the U.S. at our toll-free number 1-877-711-5611. Our hot topic of the week is hot spots, and today we're going to talk to you about how to stimulate your hot spots with various types of touch, from your tongue and your fingers to feathers and toys. So stay tuned for more Sex Drive Radio. The phone lines are now open, so give us a call from the U.S. at 1-877-711-5611. If you're calling internationally, the number's 1772-978-9099, or you can email us at questions@wetalksex.com. And here is my hot co-host, Jackie Zeman.
Well, hi, everybody. We're glad you're back with us tonight. This has been one heck of a wonderful week talking about this subject, hot spots.
Yes. Hot spots. So, Jackie, if you had to choose your favorite style of stimulation on your hot spots, would it be? I'm going to give you several to choose from.
Thank you. You know how much I love multiple choice.
I know you do.
Thank you.
Would it be a feathery touch, a smoothing, stroking touch, rubbing, pinching, stretching, scratching, kneading, breathing, or vibrating?
Okay. I have to pick two. I can't pick just one, okay?
Okay.
Two things. One, it would be, kneading I love, because kneading is just something so sensual, and there's something very, there's a gentleness, but there's also a strength to the kneading. And I have cats at home. So not that this has anything to do with my lover, but I have cats, and you know how cats do that all the time, and I always find that very pleasant. I never, throw them off the bed when they start.
So Jackie gets turned on by her kitties.
They're such big. Well, there are all kinds of love. There are all kinds of love.
I know. I'm teasing
you. But the other thing that I like a feathering. I'll tell you what I like. It's kind of a fun game that I like to play. When someone takes a feather and writes something to me, I like when my lover tells me what he wants me to do and writes it like a word on me with a feather on my body, and I have to figure out what the letters are and then do it. That's kind of just a fun thing to do, and that's always very pleasurable to me.
That is, and the feather-light touch is so gentle and soft, and you can do that with your fingertips because it's the kind of touch which arouses goosebumps, and you just barely caress the skin. But you can also use your hair. Tell your lover to use his hair, or you can use a feather duster. They both work, but make sure it's a clean feather duster.
Yes.
So, Jackie,
I tried never the duster, but the feathers. But the hair, that would be a new experience for me. Yeah.
It's heaven. Getting a massage by your lover's hair, he can't be bald, he has to have hair for this, is divine. So we have a lot of callers on the line. We have so many callers already lining up, Jackie.
All right. Well, then, before we take our first caller, let's just talk about AdamandEve.com for a second, because this is an incredible opportunity for anybody who is looking to spice things up in the bedroom, or anybody who's been fantasizing about surprising their lover with any kind of an adventurous new toy or an adult movie. We have an offer that you will not be able to resist, and it's exclusively for listeners of Sex Drive Radio. All you have to do, and it's very, very simple, just go to AdamandEve.com, and for a limited time only, you're going to get 50% off just about any item on the website. That's half off if you use Sex Drive as your offer code. And that's not all. When you select your one item and you get your 50% off, you also receive 3 free adult DVDs and a free extra gift that is so sensual we can't even mention it on the radio. And to top it all off, we'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. So go to adamandeve.com, and you are in for a wonderful surprise. There's an incredible selection of fabulous things.
And we're going to talk about one of their products.
Our first caller, who is on line 3, Sarah, and I believe this is Sarah from yesterday.
Hi, Sarah. Welcome to Sex Drive.
Hi, Dr. Ava. How are you?
Hi, sweetie. I'm well, thank you. What's going on with you today?
Oh, I was just calling in, following along with the conversation from yesterday, and wanted to just recap. I was talking about just my past and growing up with the oldest of 9 children in a really abusive situation, and
yes.
I finally left home when I was 23.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 35 now, and it's been a bunch of years, but I think that the secret to getting past stuff like that is to make the choice that you're going to have a good life and pursue that with everything that you have, because that's what really saved me, because after I did the entire court battle trying to get custody of my siblings, and I lost, and I ran my car into a ditch and completely destroyed the car around me, and I walked away without a scratch, and I said, okay, you know what, they took 23 years away from me, and that's all they're going to get. From here on out, this is my life, and I'm not going to be defined by what happened to me or what they did to me. That's not who I am. Yes, it went into making me who I am, but it's not who I am, because I get to choose what I do from here on out. And I think a lot of people need to hear that you don't have to sit there and go, I'm a victim for the rest of my life. You can take control, and you can say, no, I'm in charge now, and I'm going to have a great life. I'm going to have a wonderful life. I'm going to do everything I ever dreamed of doing.
Wow, that's so beautiful, and you have such courage to say that, and I really thank you for sharing. And you're absolutely right, Sarah. I mean, you know, first of all, you have to forgive yourself and don't blame yourself and don't punish your body for the sexual abuse that you experienced. Yesterday we talked about writing a detailed letter to the perpetrator and letting them know, you know, how they injured you. And I believe in demanding an apology, whether you get it or not. Just writing down your feelings and taking the blame away from yourself will help you to heal. And Jackie talked about burning the letter, and that works too. You have to do whatever works. But I really, you know, I believe what Sarah says is making a choice to be happy, because the best revenge is happiness. It really is. And it is a choice. So
Absolutely,
thank you so
Sarah.
much
I think
for
you're
your call.
an inspiration to everyone.
You are.
Just by your attitude and exactly what Dr. Ava just said, in your choice to have a great life.
Thank you. And let's take line 4. We have a caller from Canada, and her name is actually Dr. Kyla. Welcome to the show, Dr. Kyla.
How are you? Yes.
We're fine, thank you.
Called in last night, and of course, just didn't quite get to me, so I've called back. Yes, I was sexually molested as a child. No, I don't consider it my identity at all. I would never say that I am an incest survivor, and that's my identity.
Mm-hmm.
It has very little to do at all with my identity of who I am now. And I wouldn't even say that's how I lost my virginity, because, you know, I was still wearing the pajamas with the feet in them, so that had nothing to do with me. Right?
Good for you. Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. And so what did you
separated that?
And how did you?
I said, I think that's great the way you separated that in your mind and said, you know what, that one has nothing to do with the other, and you were able to do that. That is so healthy and so strong and so powerful. I think that's amazing. I think you've just helped a lot of people by saying that on the air.
Well, here's what happened, though. And I was always able to have great sex, but what happened and what I didn't realize was I could not feel love from humans. I could feel love for humans, but not love from humans. And after going through a Tony Robbins event, I actually came to the realization that I didn't think you could trust love from humans and that you could only get love from animals. Guess what I do for a living?
What?
I'm a veterinarian.
I knew it. You're a vet. And you know what? That's wonderful, because there are different kinds of love. And with animals, you get the unconditional love. But have you been able to, you've obviously taken control of your body, and you've taken charge.
I've made so many connections with other veterinarians that also had a core belief that you could only get love from animals.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What other career choice could we have had, kind of thing?
Right?
But the reality of it is, hell no, that's not my identity. Incest survivor, that's not my identity. That doesn't have anything to do with who I am today, other than to tell people, which is what Tony Robbins says, your past is not your future unless you live there.
Beautifully said. And yes, I'm a big fan of Tony's. I've worked with Tony on his new passion project. And thank you so much for sharing that. And there's another inspiration for you. Dr. Kyla took control of her body by taking charge of when she wants to have sex. She gives herself permission to say no to sex. She's found passion in working with animals. And I really thank you for sharing your experience. I think you're going to help a lot of people. You're listening to Sex Drive. Do give us a call if you want to talk about love, relationships, intimacy, or sex. We're talking about hot spots, but we're also going to talk about anything that you want to talk about. The number is 1-877-711-5611. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back from the break, Jackie and I are going to talk about the various hot spot stimulations that you can use. You know.
Yes, Dr. Ava, we need to go down the multiple choice and hear what yours are.
And the various body parts and how you can stimulate them with different things. So please stay tuned. I promise it's going to be very, very juicy. Where we know that sex is between the ears, not just between the legs. And everybody knows how to have sex, but lovemaking is truly an art that you can learn right here on Sex Drive Radio with me, Dr. Ava, and Jackie Zeman. Right, Jackie?
Absolutely. And
Yes.
we're talking about hot spots, and if you want to give us a call, we're at 1-877-711-5611. Give us a call. So, Dr. Ava, before we take our next call, because I know we have several calls waiting, you asked me earlier what kind of touch I like to receive, and you gave me some multiple choice. Let me see if I can correctly remember them, because I'm sure our listeners would love to hear the kind of touch you like to receive. So if you're choosing from, what was it, feathery, or tickling, or a smooth
or rubbing,
touch,
or pinching, or
scratching, kneading, vibrating, or if there's any other one that you particularly like.
Well, you left out my favorite, which is breathing. Breathing. I love feeling my lover's breath on my body. It drives me insane in a good way. And, I think it's one of the sexiest things you can do. You can purse your lips to blow cool air on your lover's hot spots by opening up, your lips and then just breathing. You can actually breathe hot air or cool air. So, and you can do it behind the ears, down the neck, up and down the spine. And you can use a straw. But I like the lips. I like to feel the lips very, very close. It's just very sensual.
There's also something probably that there's a great connection when you're right next to somebody and your breathing goes in sync and you're breathing together.
Oh, yeah, that's very sexy. I mean, breath is really the essence of life. And when you breathe into your lover's mouth and they breathe into yours, it's highly erotic, but you got to have nice breath.
Yes.
And you got to be very, very close. It's actually a tantric technique. So it's really, it takes you to a higher level of intimacy when you do that, and it slows down your orgasm. But that's another show. We can get into tantra in another show. But yeah, you can breathe. You can breathe on your hot spots, and that's that's my favorite. But then I do like a little pinching, on the nipples between like the thumb and the index finger, just a gentle massage. And I even like my little piggies being nibbled and licked and sucked. My toes are very sensitive.
A lot of people's are, and even like the space in between the toes. And the fingers, same thing, that space in between the fingers, same thing. Very sensual, and a lot of times people will ignore those spots because they just don't think about it.
Well, or they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Should we take some more calls?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do we have Talia? Talia, are you on the line?
Having me.
Well, hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
So what's on your mind tonight, Talia?
Well, I am a recovered sex addict, which is a total miracle. And when I was a sex addict, I basically was also a hopeless compulsive overeater. And my thing is that I was overweight and I just hated myself and hated my body. And as a result, I went to sex and just lots of sex with, I had very low opinion of myself, so I didn't really care who it was or anything like that. I just needed that touch and I needed that affirmation, because just to be able to feel like I wasn't, that fat or that ugly. And it really drove it, and I had to clear up the compulsive overeating to be able to have freedom from the sex addiction at the same time. It was really interesting.
And how did you overcome those things?
I got help from a foundation called the Greaves Foundation, and they have a kind of subsidiary called Heal Your Hunger. And it's an incredible resource for emotional eaters, but also for anyone who's suffering kind of from relationship issues or just unhealthy sexual relationships. I basically was looking for love in all the wrong places, and I had really bad intuition in terms of who would be the right person for me. I was attracted to just the worst case scenario, which a lot of people suffer from. And it's just, it can basically be like a form of slavery, enslavement to all of my thoughts and all of my actions were geared towards trying to find the next guy to get attention from and hopefully be able to get to come home with me. And it was an obsession that drove me. If I wasn't obsessed with that, I was obsessed with food. I think I used the sex addiction to be able to not eat so much as well. I used both of them at the same time,
And now, do you have a healthy relationship, a monogamous relationship? Are you in shape? Do you have good nutrition? What's your life like now?
Thank God I actually lost all my excess weight. I had always been overweight my whole life, and I'm thin, and it's been 2 years, and I haven't had to diet or have any specific exercise regime, and it's been incredible. And I also, it's taken a while to get used to being in a thin body also and not take advantage of it, because I so wanted so much attention my whole life when I was overweight, but now that I'm thin, there's a lot of attention coming, and it's a matter of being mature enough to be able to handle it and not take advantage of it.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And Heal Your Hunger sounds like an amazing support group, because obviously now you've learned from your past lessons and you're much more choosy who you have sex with, and you're much more choosy about what you put inside your body. So congratulations. That's wonderful.
I'm very choosy, and I enjoy I enjoy actually being single at the moment, which is a huge gift.
Yay! Jackie enjoys being single too, don't you, Jackie?
Absolutely. Yes. But you know what, also, Talia, what you said, I've had women say to me that sometimes they would intentionally, gain weight so that they wouldn't, it was kind of like a shield, to shield themselves, not maybe so much from having sex, but feeling the intimacy or feeling vulnerable to the person that they're with.
But so it's interesting. Talia, when she was overweight, she needed the validation that she could still have sex with a lot of men. So I really appreciate, people calling us and almost sharing their confessions with us, because it helps so many people out there, Jackie. And this is a place where you're safe, and we really appreciate you sharing your experiences, good and bad. Mm-hmm. So let's take another call, shall we?
Absolutely.
How about Tracy from New York on line 3? Hi, Tracy. Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hi. How are you?
Thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome. What's going on?
Sure. Well, it's interesting. The last caller mentioned how she was going for the wrong men, and I am a dating coach who helps women find the right men. If you're happy being single, like the last caller was, and like Jackie is, that's great. But if you're looking for the right men, there are a lot of things that a woman can do to change her pattern from going for the wrong men to the right men.
That's right. A lot of women are attracted to the wrong man because the wrong man is a bad boy, or he really turns her on, but he's not good for her.
Exactly.
So how do you tell women, or how do you demonstrate to women that they need to go after a man who's healthy for them, as opposed to a man that really turns them on?
Right. Well, I think it's really about a matter of the woman really getting in touch with what she truly wants. So a lot of the women that come to me are single and, like you mentioned, dating bad boys or wrong boys, but yet what they really truly want to be is happily married. So it's really important to become conscious of the fact that what they're going for and what they truly want are two different things. And that's almost like the first stage, is to acknowledge that, those two different things are happening and that there has to be some sort of change in their pattern.
And I'm sure you tell them
because
that...
don't you think a lot of times the reason why women will go for into the bad boys or the guys that are wrong is because obviously if they're single, it's because all the ones they've had in the past were wrong, but they get into that groove and, it's always... it's easier to keep repeating ourselves than it is to face our fears and step out there and take the leap.
Exactly. It's familiar. In fact, what I often do is look at the pattern of where, my client, where kind of like they go wrong. Is it at the initial meeting? Is it, a month into the relationship? Is it wherever they really are making their big mistake and then do the opposite? So if, for example, I had one client who was consistently going for the most outgoing, vivacious party boy and was consistently, after a few months, getting broken up with. So what we realized was she has to do the opposite. She has to start talking and paying attention now to the guy who's a little bit quieter, and who's a little bit calmer and not necessarily making everybody laugh. But
that makes sense, Tracy. We have to take a break, sweetie, so forgive me, but I really appreciate your call. Tracy is a dating coach in New York, and she can help you break your negative patterns. So yes, if your fantasy is bad boys, they might not be good for you. Stay tuned. You're listening to Sex Drive Radio. Welcome back to Sex Drive Radio, where we believe that sex is one of the greatest gifts to the human race, and sharing yourself with someone worthy is the most precious gift that you can give. So here's Jackie Zeman, my wonderful, hottie little co-host. Hey, Jackie, are you ready to talk about a very special product from our sponsor, Adam and Eve?
I am, and I think, it's for everyone who is interested, it's a massaging vibrator. But this one is, different, probably from other ones that you have seen, in that it can be used on all parts of the body, outside of the body, and for stimulation or for massage or to relieve, stress or tension, or even just to feel sexy, to turn you on. But it's a very nice, interesting, and it's only $39.95, which is nice. I was looking on the website because I wanted to find out all about it.
Yeah, this vibrator does not look like a penis.
It does not.
It actually looks quite clinical, but boy, it is strong enough, to please any hot spot that you might have. So even for the most demanding user, it's like a wand-style massager that provides, deep and satisfying vibrations, and it has low and high speeds for a multitude of sensual sensations that really can stimulate you from head to toe. So where would you use this vibrator,
Well,
Jackie?
you know what I want to say about this? What I like, this is great. I'm telling you, anybody with kids, if you're a mom, this is a great. It looks like, when you look at it, it looks like a curling iron. You know what I mean? It has like the handle like on a curling iron if you were going to curl your hair, with a switch, and it has like a long cord. It says it's like 5 feet long, or a little over 5 feet long, so it's long. And then just the edge of it is like a round ball. So if you have kids and you're worried about keeping things around, you could put this in the top drawer of your night table, and even if they saw it or took it out, it wouldn't look sexual to them, and you wouldn't have to be embarrassed, or you wouldn't have to be afraid they're going to find it when you're not home. And I think that's a big deal to a lot of people, so I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, it's definitely a big plus, because you're right, this massager, the Adam and Eve massaging vibrator, can actually stimulate your shoulders, your head, your back, your feet, your stomach, but it can also stimulate your clitoris and your nipples, and it can just produce waves after waves of climaxes, and that's what's so exciting. And you can use it lying on your back, sitting in a chair, standing, or actually laying on top of it with the tip placed exactly where you want it to be placed. And that you don't have to use batteries, because it has this it doesn't run on batteries. It has a plug-in power with that 5'5" long extension cord. So
which is
it's
great.
fun. Yes, it's absolutely fun. Actually, we have a call on line 3, and I think this is Angel who says that she has the Adam and Eve massaging vibrator. So let's talk to Angel and find out what she does with it.
Okay. Hey, Angel.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Welcome to Sex Drive Radio.
Thank
Do
you.
you have the Adam and Eve massaging vibrator?
Yes, I do. I really like it. I really like it because it's non-phallic looking, and I have kids who are always going through my things, so I chose to get this one, because my husband and I wanted something to play with, and that way, whenever they go through my drawers again, I can make sure that they're not going to know what it is.
Yeah.
Which also we use it on my back and my neck to relieve tension. It's awesome. I love it.
And do you use it on your husband?
I have just on it, like his shoulders and stuff. I haven't really played with him too much.
Well, I'm going to tell you where to use it, Angel, okay?
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so your husband and all men have this amazing area called the $1 million point.
Okay.
Yeah. And what you want to do is you want to slowly put the vibrator on his perineum. That's the landing strip between his anus and his balls.
Yes.
Yes, and there's a little small indentation the size of a pea midway, and if you press the vibrator gently inward, this area is called the $1 million point in Taoism, and many men are able to feel their prostate gland through this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to use the Adam and Eve massaging vibrator right there. And I would actually put a little lubricant on it because wetter is always better.
You bet you. I'm going to try it.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Okay, Angel. Thank you so
lady.
much for your call.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
We really
Angel.
appreciate it. Okay,
Well, see,
so...
I knew you'd know something fabulous, Dr. Ava.
Well,
You
I just didn't want her husband to be left out.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea because it's true. You kind of look at these things, and I mean, you asked me earlier, like, where's my favorite place? And I have to tell you, I was never a big vibrator person, and I didn't start messing around with them until I had early, in my younger days, a teeny tiny bit of experience, and then nothing. And then about 2.5 years ago, when I was getting my, divorce, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to go out and start dating again. And, there's that old thing people say, well, if you don't use it, you lose it, and you want to get the blood flow going. So I did go out and get one, actually a friend, a man who was a friend at the time, took me to a store so I wouldn't have to go by myself, and helped me pick out something. And, I thought, it was a whole new thing for me to experiment and to try it, and very pleasant surprise.
Yes, it is a pleasant surprise. And a great place to use a vibrator that a lot of people don't think of, both for a man and a woman, is the butt. That fleshy, fun butt, which can take a lot more pressure than any other part of your body. So, imagine lying on your tummy and having your lover use this vibrator down your spine, then down the crack of your butt and in between your thighs, and just really get the juices flowing before you roll over and make passionate love.
That's foreplay. I like that.
It is, and you can use that's why this vibrator is really cool, because this vibrator is for foreplay. This vibrator is not for penetration. The Adam and Eve massaging vibrator, which is under $40, is not for penetration, but it is to stimulate every single hot spot on your body, not in your body. And by the way, if you use the special code which we have for our listeners, which is Sex Drive, you can get this vibrator for half off. And you'll get a free gift, which is so naughty we can't even talk about it on this show. And you'll get 3 free adult DVDs on top of that, plus free shipping. But you must put in the code Sex Drive, when you start to check out. And it's just a great offer for Sex Drive Radio listeners.
It's a great 20. That means if it's 39, that's for 50% off. It's $20. That's amazing. That's a great.
It's crazy.
That's even a nice gift to get somebody. Wow.
It's a wonderful gift for anybody, and it's actually a wonderful gift for a man or a woman. And a man will not be intimidated by it because it's not a giant penis.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
not that there's anything wrong with
right.
giant penises. I mean, we love giant penises, but this is different. And actually, you know, on adamandeve.com, you can even buy accessories that go with this. They have a whole line of accessories. They have thousands of toys to offer. But today, this is the one we're promoting because we love it. It's non-phallic. It definitely works for all the hot spots we've been talking about all week long. Jackie, you're speechless.
Oh, I was just learning. I'm like a sponge, Dr. Ava. You're telling me
so
this, and I'm
cute.
like, yes. And you know what? When you said it had like these extra things you can buy, my mind started racing with the possibilities.
So let me ask you, you're dating. So let's say you bought one of these, and you are going to buy one of these Adam and Eve massaging vibrators. How would you introduce it to your boyfriend? You only have 60 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, no,
answer.
I take it. I would just show it to him and say, "Look, you know, isn't this amazing?" Because I like the fact that it's not shaped like a penis, that it's not like a competition thing, or he's not going to look at it and go, "Yeah, so what am I supposed to do with that?" You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of times when it comes to vibrators, men don't really want a whole lot to do with them. At best, most men won't.
That's
mind
very
watching
good.
their
You
woman.
did it. Very good, Jackie. Yes, you tell him this is for us, baby.
Together.
This is for
yes.
us together to play with. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to be back with our celebrity guest, the handsome actor, producer, writer, Tom Shanley. So we're going to find out where his hot spots are, or what hot spots he likes on a woman. Come right back for more juicy Sex Drive Radio, where we talk love, romance, relationships, intimacy, and sex. I'm Dr. Ava with my lovely co-host Jackie Zeman, who is going to leave us until tomorrow.
Yes, but I just want to say before I go, we have had an amazing week. We've been, talking about hot spots and hot places and positions and fantasies. And tomorrow we're going to continue. And tomorrow is going to be a conglomeration of everything that we've talked about this week. So it's kind of a listener's choice. So for those of you that are listening tomorrow, want to give us a call, we can talk about whatever you want.
Exactly. And I can't wait for that, Jackie. So thank you. Looking forward to it. And go order that vibrator from adamandeve.com.
I will. I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, sweetie.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Ava Cadell. You're listening to Sex Drive Radio, and I'm very excited because our celebrity guest is here. He is handsome actor, writer, producer, Tom Shanley, who has appeared in over 50 hit TV shows, including Lone Rider, Without a Trace, Criminal Minds, CSI, New York, and Miami, Dexter, The Closer, Jag, and Melrose Place, just to name a few. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Dr. Ava, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm outstanding. I'm getting a little writer's cramp from taking the notes of this blowing with straws and this nipple pinching. And what is this $1 million point you speak of?
Oh, you haven't found it yet? Well, actually, it's not your job to find it. It's for your lover to find it.
I'd probably never come out of the house. So that's what.
Well, the good news is you have $1 million point. Every man does, and it's right in that fabulous, sensitive area that we refer to as the perineum or the landing strip. So it's a great hot spot that a lot of people neglect.
Well, you know what? Because they don't know about it. And,
exactly.
Thank God you're here to tell us about it.
Oh, thank goodness. So, what are you working on right now, Tom? I know you've been doing so much, not only as a writer, but, an actor, but writer and producer. So, what's the project right now?
You keep your hands on a lot of things, as they say. I actually just finished a short film for a friend of mine, which I think turned out really well. We'll probably hit the festival circuit, and I've actually got a couple of television series I'm developing, and and with with a little luck and some begging, a few threats, might actually have a shot. So.
No, I think it's a lot of talent and tenacity, and you've definitely got what it takes. So, do you prefer writing, or do you prefer acting or producing? What's your favorite?
I prefer acting. But, you start writing because once you read 1,000 screenplays and you've got your ideas, and you have to stay creative. And writing, of course, is the way you sit down with yourself in front of the frustrating computer and try to bang it out. So it keeps your juices flowing, as they say.
Yes. What's the best compliment you've ever received as an actor?
The best compliment I received was from a friend of mine that looked at me and said, I couldn't tell it was you.
Ooh, that is a good compliment. That means that you were such a good actor. Yeah.
You. And
what were you playing? What was the role you were playing?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think it was actually the role on Dexter, which I played this kind of vampire drug dealer.
Nice.
That kind of very rarely came out and just came out to wreak havoc. And, so I think that was
Did you do any research?
I got that compliment. It was nice.
Did you do research to be a vampire drug dealer?
Let's say yes. Let's go with yes.
Okay. So, we've been talking about hotspots today on Sex Drive Radio. What is your favorite hotspot on a woman?
I got to be honest with you. Anything from about the forehead down.
And what's wrong with above the forehead? You don't like her hair?
Well, then you get into product, hairspray and all that, which can be fun. It's just, I'll have to explore that, I guess, Who knows?
No, but that's a nice answer. So you like all the hot spots on a woman, from her face to her boobs to her legs to her butt to all the naughty areas. You like it all.
Absolutely. I mean, I happen to be a leg man, if you want to categorize
Aha, now the truth comes out. You are a leg man. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you like mini skirts and...
Oh, my God.
Stockings?
Uh-huh.
High heels?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, I got it.
You know the desert island question? 3 things you would take and nothing else? Those are the 3.
With the woman, of course. You take the woman to the desert island with...
4 things, thank you. This is why you're a doctor and I'm not.
So listen, finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
I wish women would...
Oh, I wish women would ask for what they want more in terms of sexuality.
Love that. So that means you take direction well.
Well, don't get me wrong. I like to be in the director's chair, but a suggestion or something like that is very sexy, and not even just to the bedroom. One of the coolest things a girl I'm dating can do is we're sitting at a bar and we're watching television, and out of the blue, totally unexpected, she'll go, "Hey, Tom, let's go to a strip bar."
Nice.
And that's almost as hot as actually going to the strip bar.
Right. Sometimes the fantasy is better than the reality.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the unexpected stuff like that I like.
I agree. So have you lived out all your fantasies?
Well, I'd have to kill myself if I said yes. No.
I can see you blushing.
I don't think so, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty close.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate because I'm the kind of person I think that is, it's cliche to say, but I'm pretty honest and I'm not really afraid to ask for, kind of what I want. And you'd be surprised within reason how many people go, "Huh, that's interesting."
Yeah, if you don't ask, you're not going to get.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you describe yourself in one word?
Oh my God. Describe myself in one word? Hopeful.
What about in bed?
Hopeful.
You're so silly. No, I don't believe that.
Okay, well, I have to make myself sound good. So what's the one word that will describe myself in bed? Giving. How's that?
We love that. We love a giving man. That means you probably let your woman have her orgasm first.
Absolutely. I fully believe in that.
Nice. So, do you want your lover to be seductive, funny, smart, or nurturing? What qualities are most important for you in a lover, in a partner? Seductive?
Seductive. The sexual thing, there's room for everything, but, the person who is, really wants to be seductive, that's the one I'm going to respond to.
And how do you think women perceive you at first glance?
Oh my God, these are tough questions, Doc.
Yeah, but you're an actor. You can improvise. And you're a writer. Come on. You can handle it.
I can handle it. I'm a tough guy. They perceive me at first glance probably... I think they perceive me at first glance as much more of a player than I actually am. Although I want to keep that stigma. That's good. But I think that's what they view me as.
Why is that good, to be a player?
Well, hey, I'm in Hollywood, darling, you know. It's perception. It's not the truth, it's perception.
So how do you want them
different.
to... But how do you want to be perceived then? Because when I look at your picture, I think you look really handsome and sophisticated and sexy.
Well, that's
and intelligent.
You know what? Ironically, that's how I'd like to be perceived.
Okay, well then you are.
You know? Well, so I should just carry around that picture most of the time and set that on the bar and go in the back.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you for being a great guest, you know, and being so open and honest and fun. And I want to wish you continued success with your career and with your love life. And definitely go, tell your lover to find that $1 million point.
Okay, I using her, so I don't have a choice.
Using her tongue and her fingers. Okay. Preferably her tongue.
I love this country.
Oh, yes. Anyway, you've been great fun. I want to thank you so much for being our celebrity guest today on Sex Drive Radio.
Thank you so
Tom.
much, Dr. Ava. I enjoyed it.
Okay, you're listening to Dr. Ava Cadell, your host, right here on Sex Drive Radio. And I'd like to thank my lovely co-host, Jackie Zeman. And I can't wait until we do this again tomorrow at the same place, WeTalkSex.com. At the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks to my producer, Christy, my social media coordinator, Nikki, my engineers, Ron, Ray, and Shane, and a special thanks to our sponsor, AdamandEve.com, the greatest place on earth for products to spice up your love life. Don't forget, you get 50% off when you type in the promo code SEXDRIVE at the end of your purchase. This is Dr. Ava Cadell, looking forward to being with you again. But until then, go celebrate good, healthy love and sex with an S&L sandwich. It's a generous helping of sex between two slices of love.